Welcome back to a further episode of Men's Inner Health with Mark Randall. Today's conversation is goal setting. Setting goals and achieving our goals. Goal setting is really important for our development and moving forward. Goals don't have to be massive goals. It's important to have those long-term goals, 10 years down the track. Those goals are the North Star goals, so to speak. The distant shore, the North Star. They're important to have. There's medium term and short term. Goal setting is a really important thing to start to practice, and celebrating the small wins by achieving those small goals. A lot of life is rinse and repeat, Groundhog Day as they say, and learning to break Groundhog Day down into manageable small goals, small wins. You know, when we look at it from Groundhog Day, rinse and repeat, we look at the everyday things as chores, and when we look at them as chores, we go, can't be bothered. And we can procrastinate. Gonna do it later. By turning the narrative from chores to challenges, and we achieve the challenge, reflect in yourself, what impact is that going to have on your sense of self-esteem? You know, celebrating those little wins. You don't have to be jumping up and down and getting the gold medal for it. I'm embellishing it, but it's like, yeah, just those little wins. Acknowledging the little wins. Yeah, I've achieved that. You know, I think there was a book called Make Your Bed. I can't remember. It was an army guy that wrote the book. Make your bed. Yeah, can't be bothered. That's the last thing I want to do. But by changing that narrative, by making the bed, you know, after I read that book and I got the gist of it, it's setting the intention for the day. You know how I now know why. Yeah, they come and inspect the beds. And if it's smicky, it's setting the intention. It's a really powerful one. And changing chores to challenges. Setting goals. Daily goals. And being realistic with the goal setting. I've said in previous episodes, you know, we men have lots of lists, to-do lists in our head, you know, 20 on the list, and we get 5 done, we'll throw another 20 on. But how do we make realistic goals and achievable goals? And when we achieve them, acknowledge, have some self-compassion and some gratitude. You know, positively acknowledge that goal setting. You know, I was talking to a person this morning, and it's like, long-term goal is to in moving into retirement, it's how do you to travel. Now that's a long-term goal. It's a few years away, and it's like I heard there's a 5-week tour coming up, September. Great. Now, when we set holidays, we do need to set holidays. You know, yes, we have the Christmas break, and sometimes the annual leave, it's maybe 10 days or 2 weeks around Christmas. It comes around each year. But how do we set special holidays in the year? You know, 2 to 3 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks. To have that down the track, September, October, it's now June, September, October, what would that do to your mind to have that to look forward to? You know, that reward. What positive flow in your mind? What positive energetic flow would you have looking forward to that peak moment, that long-term, medium-term goal? It gives you something to look forward to. And yeah, life is a bit rinse and repeat. And we do need to provide rewards for ourselves. It's interesting as men, how often do we reward ourselves? Yeah, we might reward ourselves in the man cave with a few too many sherbets. But when you look at your partner, how often do women go and get their nails done? How often do women go and get their hair done? How often do women take a lot of self-care? And maybe they are little goals, achievable goals that they go and do, and they have downtime in doing that. It'd be great to go. I'm joking, but yeah, it's like, how often do you say, "Oh, I'll just shave my head in the shower"? How often do we men don't do those sort of things? Set achievable goals. And the important thing is to have some real powerful inner, when you complete a task or you complete the goal, just go deep, deep within yourself. Hey, well done. Well done. That is lifting the internal energy. Where does that well done come from? Yeah, it comes from the mind, but if we put a heartfelt well done to it, how much more powerful can that goal, the achieving of that goal? Friday nights when I get home, 8 o'clock, it's like the end of the week. But I've got these rituals that I do, preparing for the next week. Half the time I can't be bothered. Well, I prefer to say the F word, but yeah, push through it. Sometimes I'll meander through it, but I'll achieve it, and I give myself that little well done. Job done. You beauty. It's finished. It's away. And it opens up the weekend. It probably only takes half an hour. Feels like it takes an hour. I'm joking. I'm hoping you get the understanding of where I'm coming from with this one. Set. I think it was Tony Robbins' quote. People are not lazy, they just set impotent goals. How do we set inspiring goals for ourselves? Short term, medium term, long term. Remember, our long-term ones are your North Star. And again, because of our self-doubting mind, sometimes we've got to reach that. The perfectionist says we've got to reach that North. No, we don't. It's just the guiding. It's a sense of purpose. It's the mission. Focus on your North Star. Have that always. And it's going to change. It's going to vary. That's okay. Medium-term goals and short-term goals. Daily goals. But not 20 on the list. Break it down. Prioritise it. Be realistic. Don't set yourself up to fail with these goal setting. Set achievable ones. Set inspiring ones for yourself. Achieve them. Celebrate the small win. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, celebrate it. And you'll find that over time, it does bring a deep flow of satisfaction, a deep flow of joy, a deep flow, hey, yeah, it's great. It's just really, really powerful. And the more we keep practicing this, it starts to boost the inner confidence, the inner self-esteem. When you're fatigued and you can't be bothered, action it. Get in. Don't be afraid. Just get in, have a crack, finish it. If you can't finish it, at least give it at least 60%, And you know, when you're doing the 60%, oh bugger, I might as well finish it. You know what I mean? And that's a positive. You know, building our self-esteem, building our self-worth. Goals are important to that. Be gentle and enjoy.